Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Nvidia price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis and starting on the weekly chart for the all-time history for Nvidia. For a quick overview, where are we? We are heading of course into double 1-2 here, 3, 4 and a 5 in the yellow, finished a wave 3 in the orange. That means currently we are looking for a wave 4 in the orange, of course, based on the wave 2. As alternation, you would like it to have, of course, a wave 4. Here you see a wave 2 very sharp. Your wave 4 has to be sideways. And based on the time, we have reached already the perfect time, of course, taken from this wave 2 to the wave 3 here. Basically, we have already reached the blue zone 1-to-1 fib time. As you can see, inside it, we still, of course, need potentially a little bit and we get closer, but however it can still be unfolding from this area. Now if we take a closer look inside it, what's going on the daily chart, we can see of course this is a very choppy wave, as of course 3 waves down, 3 waves up. You're looking potentially also at a very choppy wave toward the downside. And of course here it took the high, so yeah, it's very tricky a little bit how to count this. Would you count this as one single wave here, as W, X, and a Y somehow, meaning your Y is here, this is your W kind of, and your X is just a very small one in between? Or you would like to call this somehow like this, a W, X, and a Y, and then A, B, and a C potentially, or a bigger W, X, and a Y again for this wave. Basically, both works right now because anyway, this wave here is very choppy. However, for me, preferably I take always the highest amount. Yeah, the highest amount meaning, of course, I prefer to take the X finished exactly here and start to count here, kind of like 3 waves down, correction, impulse, finished. So this is how I prefer to call it. And that because, of course, of the choppiness in the waves that we see here. So basically, we can have, of course, 3 waves down for a wave A, wave B, and potentially you finish an impulse here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice impulse, finish wave C. And maybe you're looking at a finished wave Y in a bigger view since you have an X here. Meaning right now you have moved impulsively 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially having a wave 1, estimation of a wave 2, potentially that it is finished. It can of course move for higher. If we move on the 1 hour chart, we can see if we have a wave 2, it can be very simply finished here. Now definitely yes, we were looking of course for the perfect fib level, but it is not necessarily the minimum requirement for a wave 2 is 0.38, which it has been already given and hit. However, once you got here 3 waves down, you got kind of like 3 waves up, and then kind of like you finished another structure here. It can be a bigger W, X, and a Y, and now you are looking, of course, for a new impulse toward the upside. Meaning, even if we dive a little bit deeper here, you cannot really find something very impulsive here. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 interfering, unless something else is unfolding potentially as a zigzag here, and of course wave 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5 as a leading diagonal for a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 continuation toward the upside. In this case, if this happens, and obviously that it looks like very impulsive, it can be even, I don't know if this internally can be, but we cannot move more inside it. But yeah, micro, it can be, of course, even after this wave 1, it can be finished corrective channel, or potentially, yeah, maybe still, of course, be dangerous. We have to be careful from it, guys. We have to be careful. 3 ways down, 3 ways up, 3 ways down, finish without taking the low. Interesting. But however, the price action, Nasdaq today is very green. I see a lot of optimism in the market. We're not yet 100% bullish. We are estimating still, of course, a bullish market. Meaning right now you would like to move toward the upside, at least in a zigzag. Because this is an impulse, right? If you have finished a correction here and we lay down our corrective move toward the upside. Let's say we are corrective, as you can see the confluence between the 1-to-1 fib level for a zigzag, which is the most common target is a 0.786, meaning this blue box again has to be hit. If we see continuation towards the upside, meaning we are in wave 3, as you can see, there is a crossroad here, and that's why there is a circle. And that means that we're gonna test this area. If we see, of course, weakness again in 5 waves toward the downside, we have to be careful. We might, of course, come back for lower. If we see the price continues for higher in a wave 3, therefore, of course, you can make sure you are in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 at least, and you see, of course, potentially a new all-time high for Nvidia. So let's watch, of course, this zone, and of course, let's of course take the high before we say that we are moving 100% toward the upside. You have several levels. You would like to take this high first and this high second, yeah. So this is how it works. Like, it's probabilities here. It's not something like we say, okay, it's gonna move 100% for higher. Probabilities. You have 40% moving toward the upside since you got an impulse, corrective, and you have 40% currently. Once you break this high, 50%, 60%, 70%, yeah, and so on. And when you reach, of course, the 1-to-1 level, you are at 80% bullish. If you continue, therefore, okay, 90% you're moving to a wave 3. This is how probabilities works in percentage as well. So don't forget, the risk is always there, but you will always look at probabilities and percentage of risk and win ratio, right? That was it for NVIDIA. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next